Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Cattle Site, and today we're here with Ruaraidh Petre. He is the Executive Director of the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. Thanks for being with me today, Ruaraidh.
Nice to meet you again, Sarah. Seems to be an annual thing these days.
It's always a pleasure to visit with you. And today, Ruaraidh and I are in Nashville, Tennessee at the NCBA CattleCon event that's being held here in its 2026. So thanks so much again for your time today, Ruaraidh. And I am going to just start out with what's new at GRSB.
Well, this year we decided to combine CattleCon with our board meeting. So we had Monday and Tuesday we spent on a board meeting of GRSB. Quite convenient because a lot of our members come to CattleCon anyway, so they were in town. It was great. We were able to bring some people in from other countries, Australian representatives, New Zealand, Uruguay, and others, Canada. So that meant we had a decent sort of body of people in the room to really make some strategic decisions about this year.
Very good. And what kind of decisions are you guys making these days? Where are you focused?
So there's a couple of things. This year is a conference year for us. We're going to be running a conference in November, in the first week of November, and that is going to be in Australia, in Queensland, and the details of that will be posted on our website pretty soon. But the other things we've been talking about are, what are the strategic opportunities and priorities for our members in the coming year. And one of the things we really want to drill down a little bit deeper into this year is nature positive production. And there's so much about it. I mean, this is the International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists, and so nature positive production really ties in well with the message that healthy rangelands and healthy management of grasslands is a way to produce more sustainably. And the impact of that is it's positive for your production system, it's positive for nature, and it's positive for climate. And we want to get away from that whole carbon tunnel vision. Right. There's been so much focus over the last few years on carbon, and I think that has been to the detriment of some of the other aspects. So shifting a little bit towards nature positive is a great way of making that transition. And I think nature positive encompasses a lot of what sustainability is.
And there has to be a return on investment with that too, right, Rory? It's not just about climate, it's about you're doing it for, to improve the bottom line as well, right?
Always. In fact, the biggest thing in sustainability to me is the productivity gap between those who are doing a really good job and those who are not doing a good job. And there may be multiple reasons for that. Like in a developing country, you may not have access to the sort of extension advice, to the technology, to the resources to make an investment to actually be sustainable. And we need to make sure that what the best producers are doing becomes available to everybody so that they can actually improve their bottom line and make the beef industry profitable, because only by being profitable can you really remain in business.
That's the key to sustainability, or one of the keys to sustainability. So, yeah. Very good. And what other initiatives are you guys looking at?
So another one that we've done some work on is around animal health and the contribution of animal health to sustainability. And again, that kind of ties in with what I was just saying. Right. There are so many things that are not rocket science. The technology exists. We have vaccines, we have medicines, we have routine treatments for worming and parasites and so on. All of these things make a huge difference to your productivity, your efficiency, and they reduce, like for the same amount of beef, you actually end up needing fewer cattle. So you've got two choices. Either you end up maintaining your herd and producing much more food for the human population, right, or you can reduce your herd and maintain production. Or probably what will happen is you end up somewhere in between. And if you look at the herd size in the United States over the last few decades, it's really come down, but beef productivity has gone up. Right. Your total production has gone up. And we need that to be replicated in countries like Brazil. We need it to be happening everywhere, because in the end, it's in the producer's interest, they make more profit. It's in the consumer's interest because they get access to more beef. And it's in sustainability's interest because we're having a lower impact per pound of beef.
Good, excellent. And I want to just talk a little bit about your membership. Mm-hmm. And who joins GRSB? What kind of companies are part of your organization? Or not companies, maybe it's a producer or processor, like you're the value chain, right?
Yeah, it's everybody. So the idea is that we have from pasture to plate. So we have producers, and that could be an individual rancher, or it could be a producer association. So, for example, Cattle Australia, that represents the grass-fed cattle producers of Australia. Canadian Cattle Association, they're a member. And that represents a lot of producers throughout Canada. So they're members. And then we have the processors. So the big four here in the US, but similarly in other countries. So all of those big processing companies are there. And they're really the narrowest part of the chain. That's where a lot of the cattle end up going through that small group of processors. So they're an important one. Then we have the input and offtake companies. So think of pharmaceutical companies, technology providers, and then on the offtake side, the leather industry, other types of offtake. We also have the dairy industry represented, for example, because it's very important parallels, and we're part of the same industry. Then we have the retailers. So we have some restaurant chains that you'll be well aware of, and we have some other supermarket chains. So retail selling direct to customers. Then we have some civil society organizations, though, to be like environmental organizations, universities, for example, providing us with expertise. And then the final group that we have is the national level initiative. So you'll be well aware of the United States Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. Right. We have a Canadian one, Mexican one, several in Latin America, Europe, Southern Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. So quite global. We've got 24 countries represented.
And are those, I remember there was a time when there was a lot of different groups joining. Have you really kind of settled in and have your country groups established?
Yes, I think we're probably at the level now where most of the big producer countries and some of the big importer regions are members. And so other countries, we may have an individual member, for example, from Korea or from Japan, but those are not such big markets that we need a specific roundtable for them. Right. The exception would be China, I guess. It's a huge importer, very influential in global markets. China might be one that we could bring in, but there are barriers to collaborating with China. We'd love to, but at the moment it's quite hard for us to really engage in a meaningful way with China.
Very good. Excellent. And is there anything else that you'd like to share? Anything else that is new and exciting that you guys are up to?
Well, we'll be working on our 2026 report, which will gather data from all of those roundtables. So at our conference in November, we'll be launching that report, and we'd love for people from around the world to come to Australia. You'll get to experience both Australia, the production system there, and learn about what all of your global partner countries are doing in terms of sustainable beef.
Yes. Having been to a couple of your conferences before, it is such an eye-opening experience to learn how people raise cattle differently all over the world. Yeah. And even in the United States, I was shocked out west how little water they have to raise beef. Having grown up in the Midwest, water's not that big of an issue where I grew up, but I learned a lot just about U.S. cattle production, let alone all the international stuff.
Great, and everybody's welcome. It's not a member-only thing. We welcome everybody to our conference.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Rory, for all the information today. It was great to visit.
Thank you.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Cattle Site.